Mitchell has checked on the runner at first base a couple times. Now he goes to the plate, and an 0-1 is fouled back. Jimenez at first base, 21 for 25 in steals. So certainly Mitchell is correct in keeping an eye on him with runners on the corners here. One down in the second inning. The runner at third, Minnick, reached on an error. So not necessarily the fault of Mitchell, but he still has to work out of this jam here, trying to keep his team in front by a run.
Wouldn't be surprised if he takes off on a breaking ball.
Instead, it's a high fastball, 1-2 the count.
Especially if they're able here to read a dirt ball, a breaking ball that comes out of the hand, and he's able to get a little bit of a head start. Worst case, they come up throwing, you're able to take off at third base if you're Minnick and try to score that first run of the game for Campbell.
Number 9 hitter Kyle Mehl on deck. 1-2 on the way. And it's lined foul past the first base concourse area. A few fans taking in the action on the first base side there, rocking chairs. There's a couple vacant rocking chairs right now. So if you want one, Alex, you have to go claim it right now.
Well, if you can't find me, you know we know where I'll be.
Oh, we'll find you. We'll put the camera on you. We'll say, there's Alex. He's abandoned us. He's over there in the rocking chairs. 1-2 is the count to Myers. Trying to even this score. Runner goes. Pitches down in the dirt, just as you predicted, Alex. An off-speed delivery. Jimenez was going all the way, and he swipes second base, his 22nd steal of the season.
And what it does, too, is it takes you out of the double play opportunity. So now anything, ground ball to shortstop, something hit to the right side is going to score a run.
Now a base hit has a chance to give Campbell the lead if Myers can come through here. Minnick at third, Jimenez at second. Gardner-Webb with 4 hits on the board. Campbell has a pair of hits and looking for more in this second inning.
You know, it's funny you mentioned the rocking chairs. That's one of the first things I did after my career was done when I came back to a game was I'm going to go see what that view's like from the rocking chairs.
How was it?
It was great.
Hit by a pitch, loads the bases. Kyle Mehl will step to the dish with the sacks full. Bruce Myers takes first base.
That one runs in and gets Bryce Myers right on the left leg. If you're going to take a pitch, you'd rather it be right in that area.
This team is not afraid to wear it. It's the 107th hit by pitch of the season for Campbell. That didn't just lead the league. That ran away with it compared to other Big South teams. Second most in the Big South Conference was Liberty with 74 hit batters. Again, Campbell 107 on the season, and it's part of the way Campbell fuels its offense. A lot of the hitters will crowd the plate. You saw there, Myers read that the pitch was inside. He's not getting out of the way of it. He's turning that left hip in a little bit, and he's going to take it.
And they do not get out of the way. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If it's coming in and they get out of the way, they're going to get a firm talking to in the dugout. It goes hand in hand with just them putting pressure on the defense. Nothing's easy. Nothing's cheap. And this isn't the first year they've led the Big South and or the country in hit by pitches of late either.
No, very true. Infield is playing in here. There's an inside fastball that just missed Mehl. The danger here for Mitchell, not only the bases loaded, one out, the infield drawn in, which is already a challenge in and of itself, but the man on deck is Matthew Barefoot. So this is really a tough spot for Mitchell, and right now he's going to receive a visit on the mound after he's fallen behind 2-0 to Mehl.
And I think we had this same exact conversation 3 times on Tuesday night. You've got a guy in Kyle Mehl whose numbers are good, they're not great. But if, like you said, you sit there and you look at it, this is a huge at bat because not only do you have Barefoot, then you've got to get Haas and Christian Jones right behind him. So I'm sure he's out there right now just trying to settle him down because the last thing you want to do is put him on with a free pass here, bring the top of this lineup up with the bases loaded.
Conversation ends, and we'll see how Mitchell tries to fight back against Kyle Mehl. The base is loaded. Minnick reached on an error by the third baseman to begin the inning. Then Minnick, running on a pitch, advanced to second when Babin grounded out to the second baseman. Jimenez with a base hit and a steal. Myers hit by a pitch. Infield remains drawn in with 1 out and a 2-0 pitch on the way. It's chopped down by Mehl.
It's a great spot to be at the plate. I mean, obviously 2-0 with the bases loaded speaks for itself, but the fact that he's missed a couple times now with the breaking ball too in the last few at-bats, you know he's going to challenge you with a fastball, at least on the 2-0 pitch.
Outside target here for a 2-1, and it ends up in on the hands, and Mehl fouls it over near his teammates in the third base dugout.
That's a pitch that Campbell's been susceptible to over the years. I remember conversations with the pitching coach and staff where all of a sudden when you play these guys, the inside corner becomes the middle end because they're so close to the plate that you don't have to go all the way in. And if you do, a lot of times you'll see those guys get hit with the pitch.
Yeah, you almost don't want to go all the way in. 2-2 in on the hands, but Mehl gets his hands inside of it, drives it down the left field line, off the top of the fence, and over. A grand slam for Kyle Mehl gives Campbell a 4-1 lead.
Kyle Mehl says, I don't need Matthew Barefoot to do the damage. How about my first home run of the year? And he needed every single inch that he got behind that ball.
He needs to write a thank you note to the Liberty Grounds crew for making sure that padding isn't an inch thicker. Because if that padding is an inch higher, I don't know if it's gone, but that doesn't matter because Mehl has a big smile on his face after driving this one beyond the left field wall.
He takes that 2-2 fastball that runs back in over the middle half of the plate. Campbell shortens up big time with 2 strikes, just tries to get the bat on the ball. And when you have a guy that's running up there velocity-wise, you can get it out of here. That's a big-time swing for this Campbell offense from the bottom of the order.
It's Kyle Mehl's first home run of the season, and what a way to do it. Gives him 23 RBIs on the year, and it springboards Campbell ahead 4-1. And now Matthew Barefoot takes a fastball outside. So we were talking about Mitchell trying to get through Mehl and the challenge of facing Barefoot. Unfortunately, he's not able to do it. And unfortunately for Mitchell, the challenge of Barefoot is still there. Now he has to regroup in a hurry, and that one goes behind the head of Barefoot. And we're going to have a warning issued. Our home plate umpire, Greg Howard, wasted no time. He came out and pointed at Mitchell immediately. And that is going to lead to a further conversation here as Rusty Strapp comes out to talk to Greg Howard.
And I'll tell you here, this is a great job by third base umpire David Brown. Campbell's getting, and always has gotten in situations like this, a little bit too mouthy. They start leaning over the rails and screaming directly at guys. That can lead to some frustrations. I don't think that was on purpose, but a nice job by the umpiring crew going ahead and getting in front of anything that could potentially happen.
Howard is explaining his decision. Greg Howard is the home plate umpire today. Clint Lawson at first base. Mike Mazza at second, and David Brown is our third base umpire. Now the 4 men of our umpiring crew are gathering together to talk about this further. It's a 2-0 count on Matthew Barefoot. The previous hitter, Kyle Mehl, hit a grand slam which bounced over the top of the fence, and Howard confirms that both teams have been warned here after a 1-0 pitch was behind the head of Matthew Barefoot. One more look at it.
You see him miss over the head. Again, I don't know why he would do it on a 1-0 count. I don't think there was any intent there, but you never know. You get a bunch of college guys yelling at each other, anything can happen, so you always want to get out in front of it.
You speak from experience, huh?
We might have cleared the benches with these Camels one time.
Now the 2-0 pitch is fouled down, so it's 2 balls and a strike to Barefoot. Barefoot walked in the first inning. He was picked off of first base. Native of Dunn, North Carolina, so he did not have to go very far to sign up to play for Campbell. Two-1 hits the outside edge. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Barefoot, the leadoff man, in front of Jeff Haas. Still only 1 away in the inning. Mitchell trying to put away Barefoot. The 2-2. Fly ball to left field. Redmond is tracking it. Makes the routine catch. 2 gone. Base is clear for Haas.
And you have to appreciate the energy and enthusiasm. Both these squads know what this game means. But I think from the umpires and the head coach's standpoint, you just want them to channel that towards your own guys and not start getting out there screaming at the pitcher. Because that is when it tends to get a little bit rowdy.
Hawes had a base hit his first time, swings and misses at the first pitch. Made that comment about Dunn, North Carolina. It's actually where a lot of the teams stay when they play at Campbell because there are no hotels in the Buies Creek area. Dunn is literally just a few miles down the road and a little bit more of a metropolis, if you will.
A booming metropolis at that.
Oh, let me tell you, the population at Dunn is just skyrocketing. It's almost to 10,000. It's 9,800 is the estimated count. If you're going to estimate it, why wouldn't you estimate it at 10,000? Give yourself a little more credit. But either way, Dunn is a little bit bigger than Buies Creek, where the actual campus of Campbell University is, but they really work hand in hand, almost create a quote-unquote metro area combined, so to speak. Have enough services between the area to accommodate all the needs of those living down there in North Carolina. 1-2 pitch, just misses.
That one didn't miss by much, as you just mentioned.
Mitchell certainly would have liked that, trying to get out of this second inning without any further damage. Here's a 2-2. And he does, able to get Hawes swinging for his first strikeout of the game. Started with an error. Jimenez Myers reached in front of Mehl, who capped it off with a grand slam to the disbelief of Redmond.